Hello everyone, welcome back to Boring History. Today we dive into one of the darkest and most misunderstood chapters of the past, the brutal life of a pirate. Before we begin, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel. That way, you won't miss the most chilling stories from history. Now, let's set sail. Chapter 1: Food and Hunger. Life at sea was cruel from the very first meal. Pirates dreamed of gold, but found only hunger. Supplies rotted quickly in the salty air. Bread grew green with mold. Salted meat wriggled with maggots. Drinking water, stored in wooden barrels, turned foul and filled with worms after just a few weeks. To mask the stench, pirates drank rum. Not for celebration, but to keep from gagging on their food. Hunger was constant, and men often fought over scraps, risking bloodshed for a crust of bread. Chapter 2: Disease and Decay. But hunger was only the beginning. The deadliest enemy of pirates was not the navy, it was disease. Scurvy struck mercilessly. Gums swelled and bled, teeth fell from their mouths, bones grew weak, and men wasted away in agony. Fever swept through crowded decks. Infections from even the smallest wounds turned fatal. There were no doctors, only crude amputations with knives heated in fire. The stench of sickness filled the ship. Death was so common that bodies were often tossed into the sea without ceremony, claimed by the waves within minutes. Chapter 3: Storms in the Sea. Even if disease spared them, the sea itself was relentless. Storms rose without warning. Winds howled, tearing sails into rags. Masts snapped like twigs. Lightning split the sky, and waves, higher than houses, crashed onto the deck, sweeping men overboard. Those who fell into the ocean rarely returned. They were dragged under, their screams drowned by thunder and waves. To live on the sea was to live under constant fear, never knowing if the next sunrise would be your last. Chapter 4: Betrayal and Greed. Yet perhaps the greatest danger of all did not come from storms or even the navy. It came from fellow pirates. The so-called pirates' code was fragile at best. Men swore brotherhood, but gold shattered all bonds. When treasure was found, allies became enemies in an instant. Knives flashed in the dark, rum-fueled arguments turned to bloodshed, and mutiny was always a heartbeat away. Trust was rare. Betrayal, inevitable. Chapter 5: Punishment and Fear. Discipline kept the crew in line through terror. For stealing a coin, a man could be whipped until his back was raw. For disobedience, he could be marooned on a deserted island, left with nothing but a pistol and a single shot. And the infamous punishment: walking the plank. Blindfolded, forced to step off into the ocean, while the crew watched in silence. Most never resurfaced. Fear ruled every corner of the ship. Chapter 6: Freedom and Death. And yet, despite all of this, men still chose piracy. Why? Because for the poor, the enslaved, the desperate outcasts of society, piracy offered the only taste of freedom. It was brutal freedom, a short life filled with hunger, violence, and blood. But it was freedom nonetheless. For most pirates, that freedom ended the same way, with a noose around the neck, a musket ball in the chest, or the endless silence of the sea. This was the real life of a pirate, not treasure, not glory, only hunger, disease, storms, betrayal, and death.